War never changes, and some wars never seem to end. Around 810 BCE, Urartu clashed with Eteuni, a frontier campaign in the mountains of the Armenian highlands between two nations that most today have never heard of. History records an Urartian victory. Urartu marched in, fought the king of Luhiuni, and burnt the town down and left. But this wasn't an ending. This was a beginning. Because Eteuni didn't break. It absorbed the blow and shifted north. It adapted. From that moment on, Urartu's northern border stayed hot for 150 years. The kings changed, the towns changed, the names changed, but the war didn't end. Because you see, in the Iron Age, the kingdom of Eteuni wasn't just a region, it was an alternative. Where Urartu depended on the latest technological fortresses, Eteuni relied on alliances between highland clans. Where Urartu carved roads and canals, Eteuni relied on the natural ravines and peaks of the Caucasus Mountains. Where Urartu wrote in stone, Eteuni left nothing but silence, oral traditions, and resistance. These were rival ways of life emerging from hostile wildernesses, two equal and opposite visions of power, of nationhood, that just happened to rise at the same time in the same unforgiving Anatolian mountains. And for over a century, neither could dislodge the other. Urartu won battles and took fortresses and burned grain, but it couldn't hold the terrain. Eteuni struck back, regrouped, re-emerged. The war dragged on, campaign after campaign, as an almost permanent condition of the Iron Age Armenian highlands. It shaped Urartu's development. The constant threat pushed the kingdom to deepen its logistics, to build fortresses in depth, to bind its people more tightly through infrastructure, not just force. Eteuni forced Urartu to evolve, and through that evolution, it grew into the one power that stood up for decades against the mighty Assyrian Empire. Because sometimes the wars that really define a civilization aren't the ones that they win, it's the ones that make them grow. If you want to hear more about the ancient Armenian highlands and the history of the ancient Near East, check out the Oldest Stories podcast.